But I said, you know what? Just to stick it to the other 9 people. Yeah, I will. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel via Glow. If you're new here, my name is Gloria and I'm a full-time reseller on multiple different apps, and I resell clothes and shit. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a good old ship with me. I want to show you guys what sold this past weekend. Now I do sell on 3 platforms, currently moving it up to 4. All right, so I made a gross profit of $598 and a net profit of $462.38. And I made 25 sales across 3 platforms. I made 11 on eBay, 9 on Poshmark, and 5 on Mercari. First thing actually is this North Face like fanny pack. I actually got this for myself, and then I soon realized that I am not going to be wearing this. So why did I get it? It was in a like new condition, damn near never worn, honestly. So I did check comps and everything on it once I decided I was going to list it, and I was surprised that it was going for a decent amount, because you already know North Face is kind of like a brand. It's like a hit or miss. So I definitely thought this was a miss, but it wasn't. This particular style was actually going for $20 to $25, of course, depending on what you picked up. But I actually was happy with this one, so I didn't price it that high. This one was relisted once. So this one sold for $19.98. I received a message yesterday asking me what was my best offer. So I told them the price listed and they ended up purchasing it. Usually when people ask me that on eBay, it's very rare. I always tell them the same thing, even though I typically send out a 15% offer. Ideally, I would like the price listed because that is the lowest that I actually want to get for the item. But that's neither here nor there. That one sold for $19.98. I have no cost of goods because I actually bought it for myself. So I did make a profit of $18.16 after fees and cost of goods. So the next one is actually this Vera Bradley like tote bag. I'm not really sure. I don't even know why I picked this up. I just assumed that this was a decent brand, and I guess it is. However, I've had this one since the summertime, and I believe that Vera Bradley was actually coming back. I don't know if it was on TikTok or what, but this one is not that colorful, and this one is from like the 90s, so it's not really giving the girls the vibes that they're trying to look for in this day and age. So I didn't price this one high. I did see a few sold comps at the time of me listing it, which was about $15 to $20. So I expected that from this one, and that's around the price point that I sold it for, which was $14.93. So I got it in May of 2023, and this one got a lot of attention. It's been relisted multiple times, and it finally sold. So this one sold for $14.93. I did pay $1.07, and I made a profit of $11.97 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this is a great brand called 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂. I picked these up at the bins, and I was actually really happy to find them. And then when it came time for me to list them, I started to notice that they have little tears and just a lot of wear between the thighs. So I was pretty upset about it, but I said, you know what, I think I'm gonna go ahead and list it, and I'm glad I did. I did get instant attention on all 3 platforms for these, and typically all of my 𝕃𝕀ℎ𝕂 really sells on Mercari, I've noticed, but this one, they came in and they actually bought it for my full asking price. This one had a few watchers. Someone did ask me a question, but I don't know if this was the person that actually purchased it, but I answered, and this one actually just sold last night, and I was really happy about that because I'm like, yes, we love a good full price sale. And even with the flaws, 𝕃𝕀ℎ𝕂 looks like it's still a good brand to pick up. So this one sold for $24.99. I actually just listed this you know, this month, and I picked it up last month at the ending of it, and I paid $1.47 for it at the bins, and I made a profit of $20.78 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this is a brand that I was testing out. The brand is called Joseph Ribkoff. This is actually a really expensive brand, but these pieces, I think these might be like an older style, I'm not really sure, but I went on and picked it up because I had recently picked up a set that I got lucky with, and I'm hoping that that one's gonna sell. in the spring because it is giving spring vibes. So when I saw this jacket soon after, I was like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and test this one out, even though it's just the jacket. Now, I did check comps before actually taking it home, and the price point was between $20 to $30. So I didn't price mine high just because you already know I like a good quick sale. So I didn't price it that high. This one was listed since October, and it did get, you know, a little bit of attention, not a lot, but a little bit. And this one actually sold for my full asking price as well of $24.98. That 98 cents lets me know that I relisted this once, which is not good, because if I got this in October, it should have at the very least been, you know, 96 or 97 cents, but that's okay. That's the good thing. This one actually sold for $24.98, and I did pay $1.10 at the Goodwill outlet here in Texas, and I made a profit of $23.39 after fees and cost of goods, which is pretty good. We love that. All right, this is a new to me brand that I have recently started picking up, like at the end of last year. It's called Slinky brand, and this was a cardigan that I had found. It was a plus size, so that was the main reason why I was interested in it. And this one actually has been listed since November, and this one sold through an offer, it looks like, that I sent them. So I think I've picked up like their traveler style items. This one is not the traveler style like fabric, which is, I believe, acetate, and this one still sold. And like I said, I picked this up in November. This one sold for $23.77, which was the 15% off offer that I typically send likers on eBay. And I paid $1 for it at the bins, and I made a profit of $22.49. All right, so this is actually a really pretty Catherine's piece. It is a plus size brand, and I have recently started picking up a little bit more frequently than I did before. I try to make sure I vet the styles and all of the good stuff, because I do have a few pieces that are sitting. Granted, they don't look as pretty as this one, so I can see why. But this one sold for my full asking price, and I was really happy about that, because y'all already know how it is in these streets. Full asking price sales, they just don't happen that often. But this one sold for $24.99. I did pick this up in December, so this was a pretty quick turnaround, and I did pay 90 cents for it at the bins, and I made a profit of $22.94 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this next piece is a brand called Alley Miles. I think this is a great brand to pick up. This is actually a brand that I have put in my like bread and butter BOLO list, especially because the sell-through rate is really high, and the price point that it sells for is also great. This was definitely a beautiful piece, and I was just like, I cannot let this go to a landfill. So I went on and picked her up, and I was so used to the pieces selling within a week that I thought, oh man, you know, don't nobody want this one. So I was a little upset, but I did price this one a little bit higher than I did the other pieces. Well, not all the pieces, just, you know, I feel like when you pick up a top, the tops are typically going to go for a little bit less than the sweaters. So this was a top, but I did price this like it was a sweater, and I was really happy about this one selling for my full asking price of $29.99. I sourced this one in January, so this one was, you know, a quick turnaround. Not really sure what time frame I picked it up in. Was it the beginning of the month, end of the month? But I was happy with this quick flip, and it's definitely a great brand to look out for. I did pay $1 for this one, and I made a profit of $26.17 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this is a Coogie t-shirt. Edit and Gloria here. First off, let me just say, I know how to pronounce Coogie. I don't even know why I pronounce it that way. Y'all, please do not laugh at me. I definitely undersold this, I know for a fact. However, this one is kind of like an off the shoulder situation, and it's a little bit like worn, so it has like a little bit of wash wear to it. So I was really happy to see it go as quickly as it did, and yeah, I would probably pick it up again. This is a pretty good brand to get, but I think the sweaters are going to perform the best. This is just a t-shirt, so I just assumed that somebody that was actually about to go to maybe like a Y2K party, or maybe like a late 90s party, they would want to find something like this. So yeah, that's why I got it. So this one was picked up in December of last year, and I did pay 90 cents for it, and it sold for $15.29. So I made a profit of $14.59 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so I actually picked up this 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂 top due to the fact that it was an extra large and it was Pima cotton. 𝕃𝕀ℕ basics are probably not the best thing to pick up, but I think if you just kind of vet it a little bit, of course, check your sell-through rate and the comps. You already know how I feel about 𝕃𝕀ℕ now. I don't pick it up as much anymore. I think it's a decent bread and butter, but I feel like it's gonna slowly decline because everybody has it as their bread and butter. So we are all picking it up. So I'm definitely more mindful of what I'm picking up. This one just had the 2 factors going for it, and that is why it came home with me. And this one did take a few months to sell. So this one was listed in September. So it took a little while. But this one sold for $19.97, and I did pay 80 cents for it at the bins, and I made a profit of $18.62 after fees and cost of goods. So this is a top that I recently sourced. It is from a brand called Andre by Unit. They just are a boutique brand, I want to say, and it's very boho. So it reminds me of like Savannah Jane, Ivy Jane, and it's just kind of like right up that alley. It has like this really long you know, back hem, so I thought I'd go ahead and get it, and it was a larger size, so that was another thing that drew me to it. This one was listed in January, so I recently sourced it. I sold it for $16.99, which looks to be close to my discounted price, I think, because typically when I list things at $19.99, it'll send them out a $16.99 offer. So I think this one was definitely sold through an offer. And I paid 84 cents for it at the outlet, and I made a profit of $14.54 after fees and cost of goods. Definitely a brand that I do pick up. I think I've picked it up quite a few times, and it does get attention, so I do look more into the brand when I'm out there, but I do vet the style. I don't take everything home. All right, so the last thing to sell on eBay is this Crown and Ivy maxi dress. I thought this color was really pretty when I saw it, and it has like this palm tree embossed to it. So that is the reason why I got it. I don't think that it is cute, I'm gonna be honest with you. The ruffles around the neck is really ugly, but somebody found it to be pretty, so that's why they purchased it. And I'm sure they'll probably look nice in it. It's just me in my mind, so y'all see what I wear. But I picked this one up, and this actually was in my, what do you call it, like my spring pile that I sourced, you know, a while ago. So this one's saying that I sourced it in November. So I sourced it in November, and I kept it in my spring pile. And I want to say toward the end of January is when I started to pull things out to start listing, just kind of merging with the items that I was getting from the bins. And that way I can start clearing out my bin of items that need to be, you know, listed for the spring and summertime. But this one got instant attention. I honestly thought it was going to sell on Mercari because it had the most likes over there. I was really happy that this one sold as quickly as it did. So this one sold for a discounted price because I probably had it at $24.99. But it sold for a discounted price of $21.24. I did pay $1.59 for it at the bins, and I made a profit of $17.12 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so I have this toddler bundle. I'm probably not going to package it on camera because it's going to take a little bit of time. I should have got the box, but I didn't. But I'll pop it on the screen. But this is just a bundle of all of my son's like clothes that he has outgrown, and it's just a bundle lot of it had to be maybe 8 or 9 pieces. I'm actually going to throw these in there as well. Hopefully they are happy with it, but if they're not, hopefully I don't get a bad review. But these will be all together. It was $45. I didn't pay anything on it because all of this is from my son's personal closet that I sourced from the bins. So don't have a cost of goods, but I did make a profit of $36 after fees. All right, so these are some Beta brand, like, you know, boot cut jeans. These were a plus size, so that was the reason why I felt so heavily inclined to pick them up. And of course they were from the bin, so you already know how I feel about that. And I did price these higher, and I always kind of cringe when people say, oh, you can price, you know, plus size clothes higher because, you know, they don't have that, you know, many options, and I always thought it was kind of slick and shady, but I get it, but still. But I did price this one higher, and my bot ended up sending them a offer and they accepted it, so it sold for $36. Most of us in the reseller community talk about Beta brand pretty much falling from grace, which I do think that it has slowed down completely. It is definitely specific pieces that will warrant the amount that it used to sell for, which was always about $40 to $50. And now, you know, at best you can get between 20 to 30, which is still not bad. It's just, you know, not as good as it used to be. So I went on and picked this one up. I didn't check comps. It's certain brands that I don't really check comps on anymore. I've gotten so much better at being a bins girly, where I don't have to check every single thing anymore, just because I have an idea, because I've sold so many, y'all. I've sold so many pieces of clothes, different brands, different styles, and I kind of have an idea of what sells good. So I thought this alone, with the size and the fact that it was boot cut, it was going to perform decently, and it actually did. So like I said, it sold for $36. I did pick this up in October, so the turnaround is actually not that bad, but it's still a little, you know, long. I paid 97 cents for it, and I made a profit of $25.81 after fees and cost of goods. So these are some all in motion pants. I did get these for myself initially. They fit, they just don't fit me the way that I would like them to fit. So we are definitely working on it. My butt is you know, it's too much for some of these clothes. So it's good on the waist, but it ain't good, you know, on the butt. So I ended up listing these, and honestly it was a colorway that was the only reason why I got these. But I'm starting to think, because this is the second time a all-in-motion Target brand piece has sold for me in under a week. So I'm starting to realize that this might be a brand that I can start looking out for, especially like maybe trying to lot it up and going from there, just to see, you know, would it be best, which I think it would be. But this one did sell for $16, and I have no cost of goods in it because I did get it for myself. So I made a profit of $12.80 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this is a cute little bundle. The first piece is this torrid top. I actually sourced this for myself to wear for Christmas, but I ended up not doing anything. So I ended up just listing it because I didn't see any other event happening that I would want to wear a blouse. Y'all know I don't wear, like, you know, blouses. I just wear t-shirts and stuff. So I did have an event coming up, so it was pointless on keeping it. This is a Steve Madden like poncho sweater thing. This one was new with tags. I was in when was it, when me and my ex-boyfriend was looking for some things for AJ before his birthday. I came across Steve Madden section in Walmart, and I was shocked because I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know that's where this brand is from. So Steve Madden is actually sold inside of Walmart. Let me know, did y'all know that? Because I didn't. So now I know to not pick Steve Madden clothes up, because they're being sold in Walmart for a really affordable price. So I'm definitely not picking it up no more. But this was a good, like, you know, trial piece, and it did get attention. So that makes me happy that, you know, it is, you know, something that people are looking out for. But I definitely don't think it's a brand that I would pick up for like a basic or just something simple. This one was new with tags, and that really carried the reason why I picked it up, and it was a neutral tone, so that was another reason. But yeah, definitely will be mindful if I see it out there again and vet the style. So this bundle was bundled, and I actually sent them out a really aggressive offer. So I think it was bundled at $55. I sent them a $28 offer, which I was like, they probably can't resist this, you know, because like I said, the torrid top was for me, so it's no cost of goods. But if I do factor in a cost of goods, it would be $1. And the Steve Madden piece, I wanted to see go, just because we are approaching the spring and summer, and you already know fall and winter clothes are about to be of the past. So I wanted to go ahead and get rid of 2 items quickly, and she accepted, and I was really happy about that. So this one sold for $28, and I did pay $119 for the Steve Madden piece, and I made a profit of $21.21. All right, this one was a little bit disappointing. This is a 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊 sweater. I sourced 2 of these back in August. And the cashmere piece actually sold fairly quickly. I want to say within like a week or 2. And this one took forever to sell. The problem is that this one didn't have like a great fabric content. I think it's just cotton, which is still a good natural fiber. But the cashmere was just like, you know, it was a great fabric content. So I think that's why it did sell so quickly. So I was really happy to find them because 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊 does perform decently for me if priced correctly. But this one sat around for a while, and I think I ended up dropping the price maybe about $10 or $15, and my bot ended up sending them an offer for $22 discounted shipping. I think they asked me what was the condition, because at this time I wasn't putting the condition in the listing. I would only put the condition in the listing if it was flawed. I don't even know how you could look at photos and not know what the condition of the item is. You get what I'm saying? But that's just me. Anyways, so this one sold for $22. I did pay $1.12 for it. I made a profit of $14.46 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this is a Tommy Bahama reversible like sweater. I think I have 3 of these in my closet. Well, this one just sold, so I think I had a total of like maybe 4 or 5 of them. And since they do perform, I picked them up. They all vary though. Some are gonna do good, some are not. This one I knew was gonna do good because it was a plus size. It is a 3X, and that was the main reason why I was interested in getting it. And it was in decent condition too. So had this one, and I noticed that it had a lot of likes on eBay. So I was assuming that's where it was gonna sell, because you know, I feel like a lot of men shop on eBay. I think that's probably their preferred platform. That's what I'm assuming anyways. And it didn't. A lot of people also was viewing it. So I think the price point also drew them away, because I did price it at $29.99 just because I wanted to sell it for about $25. And that's what I have done recently on eBay. Even though this sold on Poshmark, I have adjusted my price points, because if I am pricing it at my lowest on, you know, eBay, and then I still have to send out a 15% off offer, it's just not going to work for me. So I started to mark up my price just a teeny tiny bit, because you know, I feel like I just want to get more money. I feel like I did a lot of trial and error in all of my closets and my storefronts and all of that, just to see, you know, what is selling, what is not. And I don't want to, you know, bring the market down on some items. So if I can just, you know, zhuzh it up a bit, I will. So this one I picked up in January, so this was a really fast flip. I sent them a $26 offer with discounted shipping, so I did pay $1.01 for it. So I made a total of $17.77 after fees and cost of goods. This is a Urban Outfitters like crop sweater. I sourced this back in April, y'all. This has been sitting for a very long time. I have really gotten better with the sourcing that I do now to avoid situations like this, but for some reason, I just could not sell this to a buy, sell, trade store. I was just like, I need to sell this myself. It's new with tags. Like, we could sell this. And I received a $19 offer. Of course, I accepted it. So this one sold for $19. I did pay $115 for it at the bins, and I made a profit of $14.05 after fees and cost of goods. All right, y'all, the battery died. All right. So the next thing to sell was this Brandy Melville sweater. I hate that this is just so wrinkly, but whatever. This, of course, was picked up at the bins. I picked this one up due to the fact that it was like a polo style sweater, very oversized. This particular buyer actually sent me a message in a bundle telling me, hey, could you drop the price to $20, which, you know, that was their offer. So they could utilize closet clear out. And I was like, of course, because that's essentially the price point that I wanted to sell this for. I had it priced at $32 because comps on this specific item was about $20 to $25. So that was the reason why I looked into it. I've definitely slowed down with picking up Brandy Melville because it definitely does not warrant a good return on my investment, because I've gotten out of the process of picking up items that I'm only going to be able to make a profit of, you know, $8 to $10 for. And that's typically what Brandy Melville kind of sells for, which is like, you know, $10 to $15. Even though I do think that, you know, some items you can pick up and, you know, just have it as a filler. And this was definitely a filler item, but I have gotten out of the habit of picking too many of those up. I don't want too many fillers, you know. But this one sold for $20, and I did source this in January, so this is a pretty quick turnaround. All right, so then the last thing to sell on Poshmark is this 𝕃𝕊𝕂𝕊 sweater. This one actually made me sad because I picked this up and I didn't check, you know, the flaws on it. I actually picked this up at a buy-sell trade store, which was Plato's. And I should have known something was up because they didn't price it that high. It was only $14, which is a good price point to pick up at a buy-sell trade store for 𝕃𝕊𝕂𝕊. This is actually a great brand to pick up, honestly. I have found a button down at the bins recently, and I priced it high because it is a pretty good item and it's going to be good going into spring. But anyways, this one had like a bleach stain at the bottom, and it was pretty big, but it wasn't like a pink bleach stain. It was like a tonal green stain. So it was the same green of the item, but like a lighter tone. So it was very visible. So I didn't price it as high as I was. So I went on and accepted a $35 offer. It was getting attention across, you know, all platforms, which was still a good thing, but I knew that that flaw was gonna deter a lot of people. So when I received the $35 offer, I said, you know what, instead of me holding on to this for $5 more, like I said, I paid $14 for it at a consignment store, so I did only profit $14. All right, so we're moving on to Mercari. The first thing to sell was this 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊 dress. I picked this up at a regular thrift store. I definitely haul this for y'all in a reseller vlog. This item was so, it's not that cute to me, I'm gonna be honest, but the style of it kind of was. So when I picked this up at a regular thrift store, I was like, oh, that tag looked like it's worth looking into. And I'm glad I did, because it's a brand that is sold at 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊, and it is just a decent brand alone to sell. So I had it priced, I want to say at $55 or $58, I'm not really sure. This particular buyer sent me a $40 offer, and I actually thought that was decent, so I accepted it. I have really come to terms with, I'm not gonna let $5 stand in the way of a good sale. So I've strategically on Mercari, for the most part, not necessarily all items. When I bring the items to Mercari, I, for the most part, am able to kind of assess what the 20% that, you know, they're going to take off if they send me a offer on it, and I kind of have that in my mind. So when I price it at $55, ideally I would have loved to get $50, but $40 is also not bad at all. So I paid $7 for this, and I did pick it up in January. I did make a total of $27.14 after fees and cost of goods. This one was a little annoying. This brand is called 𝕃𝕀ℕ𝕂𝕊. It is a plus size top. I think this is a boutique brand. It has to be. I just really picked this up off of style. Some pieces I just pick up off of style, honestly. I don't really care too much, but this was a style and a size pickup. So this one had over 10 likes on Mercari. I sent out a 25% off offer. Nobody accepted it. A lady came in and said, hey, could you do 12? I was a little annoyed because I'm like, okay, that's 40% off. But I said, you know what? Just to stick it to the other 9 people, yeah, I will, because they should have accepted that offer. At least one of them should have, but it's fine. So I went on and you know, went and sent her the offer after she asked. I sent her the offer, because you're able to do that in Mercari, which I absolutely love. And she accepted it, and we're getting this one out the door for $12. And I paid $1.47 for it, so I only made a profit of $8.34. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm pretty annoyed because I've definitely gotten away from selling items for this price point, but for pieces that either sit around too long, you gotta go. And that is with this next piece. So these are a pair of Under Armour shorts. These are little boys. I didn't expect much. Honestly, when I pick up kids clothing, I'm expecting about $10 to $15 for it. So it's just like a cute little filler piece, and just to have something in my closet, just in case somebody wants to bundle an item for them and then get some for their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's good to have. But I think I have this priced at $15. They sent me a $13 offer, and I was like, of course. This one was listed in August, so I did, you know, list this at probably the worst time, because we were transitioning to fall and winter, and that's why I am so big now on not listing out of season, and just making sure that I stick to in-season pieces, and then, you know, as soon as the season is about to change or it's slowly approaching, then list it, and not do what I did. Because if I would have waited at least until like what, maybe end of February, maybe early March, I would have for sure probably got like $18 for these, but it's all good. So these sold for $13, and I did pick them up for $1.47. So I only made a profit of $9.24 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so this next piece is Urban Outfitters. This is just like a pair of pull-on pants. These look so cute, and I was like, I know somebody's gonna love these. They kind of gave me picnic vibes. I think the gingham definitely does that. So I think I put that in the title. I was actually able to find a stock photo for it too, so that also helped it. I try not to pick up too much Urban Outfitters, just like things that are cute and current, and something that I do think that Gen Z or a millennial would still wear, like a quirky piece or something. So I had these priced at $28 with the hopes of selling it for about $20 to $25. I received a $21 offer, and of course I accepted it. And the following day she asked me could I ship it out, and I told her no, because I don't typically ship out on the weekends. I don't ship out Friday, Saturday, you know, of course, or Sunday. So I told her that Monday is the next available day. And I asked her where does she stay, because just so we can get an idea of how long it may take, because this is brown, and she lived in Arizona. So I told her that I'm hopeful, but I don't really know. USPS do whatever they want. So this one sold for $21. I did pick these up in December, so this was a pretty quick turnaround. I did pay 82 cents for them, and I made a profit of $16.80 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so the last thing to sell is this new with tags Old Navy jumpsuit. What's so funny, y'all, is that I hesitated picking this up because I'm like, okay, we are transitioning out of winter time, so I don't know if I should get this, but it was new with tags, and that is what gave me like that little extra push. It was a size small, so that also had me second guessing, but I eventually was just like, you know what, let me just go ahead and get it. If it sits, it sits. But picked it up. It doesn't have the original price point, but Old Navy is not as cheap as it used to be, so I'm already knowing that they definitely got a deal on this. I had it priced at $30, and they sent me a $24 offer. I, of course, accepted it because I actually sourced this month. So this was a really, really, really quick turnaround. And I did pay $1.32 for it at the bins. And I did make a profit of $18.88 after fees and cost of goods. I do enjoy picking up Old Navy for the most part. It's got to be real specific, honestly, because the brand, I've noticed it sells. You just got to make sure you're picking up things that people want. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.